Alright, first we're going to take the wing out. So basically just cut the tabs. There we go. We're going to take a break there and we'll come back in a few minutes. Okay, take 4 of your 5 ring spars. You want to line them up on one end.
Specifically, those are 1/16 square strips.
Yes.
So the others are going to become wing posts.
When you have them all lined up, you lay them down right there in the middle. Take your Scotch tape.
There you go.
And you tape them down on one end, come down to the other end, and tape them down on the other end. Then you're going to want to take a pen.
By the way, I'm going to interject here. This is a micron pen, highly recommended for marking balsa. Let's see if I can try. There you go. Now you can see that. Hold it up close.
There we go. Oops.
Flip it around the other way. You've got it upside down. There we go. Hold it down. There you go. Or was it right? No,
it was right side up.
I'm going to shut up now.
So, sorry about that. There you go. And so you just want to mark where your ribs go. So
the apex of each of those notches. And we should note, don't even press down there or you'll crush that really light wood.
You just lightly. That's why you want to use like a fine tip pen like this, just so you don't mess up the wood. There we go. And then you're going to take...
Trim that edge too. That's it. Trim it flush.
Okay. You're going to take this side and you're just going to make sure everything is flush like that. And then you want to come to this other side. Do I tape it now?
No, leave the tape down like that.
You want to cut 2 of them the full length. There we go. Like that. And then the other 2 you want to cut back here at between the 4th and 5th one. And so the longer ones, of course, will be for your wing. The shorter ones will be for your tail.
And don't throw those away. You can use them for tail posts or what have you later on. Or wing tips.
So just kind of set them aside. So then you will set these aside. Make sure you keep them separate from these over here that you cut that are the extras. So then you will take these and let me...
You can pick it up.
Okay. You're gonna...
No. You want to center those marks.
Oh, yeah. So you want to make sure that your marks are centered right there.
It's not centered, honey bun. A little further. So I'm going to interject. This is where I mentioned my wife is not used to using such fine machinery.
Yes.
typically go every other one. Just make sure it's tight up against there. Except don't squish the wood.
So like that, every other one, and then do one more piece.
And do the same thing on the other side. We'll come back once it's all on there.
Yes. Okay, so we have it all taped on there. Make sure that you tape both ends down here, and then just every other bay in the between. So next we're going to take our ribs. And be careful because there we go. Sorry about that.
That just means we did a good job laser cutting them.
Yeah. And that's fine if, you know, if they break off from the carrier sheet, it's not that big a deal. I will show you the curved ribs are your ones that you want to use for the wings.
The more curved ones. They are both curved.
The more curved ones. Sorry. And then the ones on the bottom, which are a little bit straighter, are the ones for the tail. It doesn't matter front and back because they are the way that they're curved.
It's called a circular arc.
It's a circular arc, so it won't matter.
And I believe those are 5% curvature for the wing and 2% for the stab.
Right. So you just start cutting them apart. And there's, you know, plenty of extras, so don't worry about
Well, don't break all of them. But
Don't
there's
break
enough
all
that
of
if
them,
you
but-
break a few, you're good.
yeah.
I think there's 1 or 2 extras on these.
I'm gonna cut these. And then we're gonna go ahead and take our glue. This one is Segment. Sorry.
You can also use Duco or even Elmer's like wood glue or what have you will work.
Yes. So, I'm just gonna squeeze them out. And then you gently take your ribs and you can dip it in, or you can,
Try to use as little glue as possible.
yeah.
Minimum weight on A-6 is a little intense.
You want to start with the center rib. Make sure that you get it about where you marked it. And make sure that it's, you know, not leaning towards one side or the other.
Oh, come now. You almost won a national championship with one that had a rib nearly sideways. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I giving away this trade secrets?
Yes. And then you just kind of work your way up from there.
So she builds different from me. I always put the tip ribs in first.
Oh.
Whatever you want to do. You're better at it than I am.
It really doesn't matter whether you start with the tips or whether you start with the middle. I don't think it... As long as you get them in there and they're where they're supposed to be.
Okay, we'll
come back and after they're all put in. Okay, so we're doing the tip ribs, and just get some glue on it. And you want to make sure that the tip rib is flush with the end of your spars there.
And get those straight up and down too.
Yeah, make sure that
they, more or less. They can be tilted out slightly.
So you can set that aside for now. To dry. And then I want you to take your tips like this.
Tip form.
Tip form. Cut it out from its carrier sheet.
And these are actually going to build you oversized wing tips, and you'll trim them to size afterwards.
Yeah, after you. There we go. So then you're going to take those pieces that I told you that were extra. You're going to take those. You're going to lay it up against here.
There's some tape. Don't waste quite so much on the end. This is a prototype kit, y'all, so we're being frugal with wood.
So you just tape it in place. Take the other one. Do the same with this side. There you go. Like that. You're going to want to leave them long. This one I can even move that. Put that in. Like that. So you're going to want to leave them long. So just kind of cut them off like that. And then you're going to take this one and you're going to
Did you bevel off the other side of it?
Nope. Sorry. You want to make sure it's beveled so that way it fits perfectly in there.
We have to teach people the correct technique, not the redneck nationals winning technique.
Yeah, sorry. Then you're going to want to cut it straight there. Get some glue. Glue it in place like that. And then you're going to want to do it to the other side. And this is why we include plenty of this. We include one extra because
I would bevel that one, but it's going to get cut off anyway.
I was planning on it. So yeah, you're going to want to bevel this, which is basically make sure that it's cut angled down to an angle, so that way it will fit nice and flush against the top. And so then you're going to want to do the same thing down here. Get some glue. And glue it in place there. Just like that.
And this is where I interject Set that aside to dry, and then build 3 more of those.
Yes.
Because that's how many it takes.
You're going to need 3 of these. So.
Well, you're going to need 4. You've got.
Sorry. You're going to need 4 of these in total. So just kind of set this aside to dry, and then later come back and build 3 more. We're going to take a break and we'll come back. Alright, now we come back to the wing after the glue is dry. And gently take the tape off. Just make sure that you don't break your spars in the process.
I don't know anybody who would do that.
I have never done that.
I have never done that either. Never. If y'all believe either of us on that, then you're pretty gullible.
No, it's very easy to do, and so that's why I'm trying to be gentle, so that way I don't.
If you have too much trouble with it, and you've used Sigmund or Duco or Ambroid, you can just wet the whole thing down with water, and the glue will suddenly not stick anymore. Not the glue, the tape. The glue will keep sticking. Let's get that right.
Yes.
On the other hand, if you have done it with white glue, well, any of the Elmer's types, you're just going to have to go with it, because you cannot remove Scotch tape with acetone, because the tape itself is acetate based, and it will then proceed to dissolve into your wood, adding weight to your wood.
And that weight is never a good thing with the A6.
Yeah.
Extra weight, I should say.
I'm trying to remember if I've ever built an A6 all the way down to the minimum weight. I think I did once, and it didn't turn out well. 2 more over there.
Yep. And we'll come back in a few minutes when I get this one undone. Alright, now that we've removed all the tape, take your wing and just kind of set it aside until we get it covered. Now you want to take those spars that you made for your tail and just kind of line them up. Take your...
You attempt to reuse the old tape. It's probably going to end poorly, but hey. And slide it to the right a little bit. Touch me. There you go. That's good.
Tape it down just like you did with the wing spars. Come back to your ribs, like I said, you want to make sure that you get your, let me get that one out of there. You want to get the ones that are less curved, which hopefully will be on the bottom, but just make sure that you get the right ones. And you want to cut some of those out.
I believe it takes 5 for the stab.
Yes. Bunch of ribs. Make sure that you have enough glue.
What, has the old pile turned to jello or something?
Yeah, if you use Sigma after a while, it just kind of gels up, and so like with the tip ribs, same with the stab, with the tip stabs, just
they don't have a whole lot of camber, so you'll have to get a little bit on the creative side.
yeah.
You may have to lift up the leading or the trailing edge up and retape it to get them to clear.
Something like that. Just kind of make them work. And come and do it on the other side. You just basically want to make sure that they're flush with your spars, and then we'll come back and do the middle, and then we'll come back when I have them all in there. Once you have them all in there, you just kind of let it set aside to let the glue dry, and then we will come back and we will start on the next part.